Totally Beverages.
and sometimes hot sauce.
That is a tasty root beer.
Coffee.
Water.
Cerveza.
Mountain Dew.
Beverages.
Beverages.
Beverages hot sauce.
Beverages.
Beverages.
Beverages hot sauce.
Welcome to Totally Beverages and Sometimes Hot Sauce, the show that was almost called K-Cups with Roro. I'm your host, Psychic Candy, but you can call me Roro. Here, as always, the beautiful blue-eyed Barbadian. How you feeling tonight, JoJo?
Oh, I'm feeling relaxed.
You ready for that caffeine later?
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
I held off all day just to pound some tonight with you guys.
My dear wife, when I told her what we were doing, she was like, that would ruin my entire week. She would be up all night. I think I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight.
I'm a little afraid of it because not 2 days ago, I did have a Phil's with a Z coffee, and that shit is rocket fuel. And I ended up staying up well past midnight, just unable to sleep.
It's a small price to pay. A small price to pay.
It was a small coffee, the smallest available on their menu.
I'm really excited about tonight because I feel like, and I'd like to see in the chat, I feel like of everything we've done so far, these were the easiest bevs to procure, at least for myself.
Certainly.
So really, at any moment in time tonight, guys, let us know how you're feeling about the bevs that we're drinking, because we hope that you're coming along on the ride. But let's just dive into it. Let's check out our vision board real quick. As you guys may remember last week, we had a monumental week because we moved something off of the Make It Happen manifestation board. But I don't have really any news to report this week. Do you, Jojo?
I something that never made it onto the manifestation board and therefore could not make it off the manifestation board. These are the rules of the manifestation board. I don't make them. I just abide by them. I had mentioned I need a new vessel.
Oh, I'm listening.
And Daddy got a new vessel.
Can we see?
I retired my, I don't know, probably 7-year-old hydro flask. You know.
Wait, I might have a picture of that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find a picture of that.
We were long time hydro flask. There it is.
Look at that piece of shit. Oh my God.
That sad 20-ounce little shit. The sport top, I replaced it. And I asked you all, I put it on the old Instagram stories asking for suggestions. And I got some great ones. But somebody said, I got a hydro flask because T-Bash told me to get one.
Oh.
And I said to myself, you know what? Dance with the one that brought you. And I got a new hydro flask.
Oh, wow.
It's a big beaut. It's a 32-ouncer. Got this daddy on sale because they came out with a slightly different orange color this season. So I got this for like $25 instead of like $45. And threw in the old spill-proof straw mug lid. So I'm ready. I'm ready to rip. I'm excited, and this is actually a maiden sip right here on the show.
You clean that out first?
I did, and it tastes great.
Listen, listen. I love the Hydro Flask. I'm a little curious about your the size that you chose. You went for the 32.
I did. 40 seemed
more.
excessive.
Is that going to be your daily driver?
I do believe it will be. Yes.
Taking it to the office.
I don't have an office anymore. I work right here. It fits on the palm of my hand. I can balance
Is that going to fit in your cup holder in your car?
I don't know, and frankly, I don't care because it's spill-proof. So it doesn't matter. It could go on the floor. Okay. I could stick it down the front of my shirt.
All right. Well, I'm happy for you.
Toss it in the back seat.
I don't know if you can feel that 32 ounces is not for me, not my style, but more power to you. And I love Hydro Flask. I think that color suits you very well. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. It felt like a nice balance to all the turquoise in my life, and I'm here for that.
It's a beautiful thing. Well, yeah, so we didn't have a Tapper Tuesday this week, but I think maybe we will next week because I
Oh,
really
this
do
week
want
it's
to get
coming.
this. I want to get this 20,000 points off the board here.
We might even have a Thapper Thursday. But
Let's maybe have a Thapper Thursday tomorrow. That sounds great. And this Olipop, Jojo, we kind of forgot about Olipop. I feel like we know what we're going to do next week. We'll get to that shortly. But maybe we need to throw Olipop in here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Does that sound crazy?
I think so. I'm envisioning it. I'm manifesting its existence, and I think we can do this.
And again, if anybody knows any of our celebrities on this board, please hit them up, slide into their DMs. We're still waiting to hear back about Kate Winslet and our bookstore owner friend, of a friend, I should say.
Oh, do we even tell that story on the show? I don't think we did.
Oh, maybe we should keep that under wraps or under the book?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
We're working on it. We have friends of the show working on it.
That's right. They're not afraid to just take a bullet for the show and ask a relative stranger if they'll come on. And if anybody's summering in Nantucket, I'm pretty sure ask Ina Garten. Let's go knock on the door. I feel like she'd be a gracious host and be happy to have you. And then you have to explain the GFY part of the show. Otherwise, we'll arm you with whatever information or swag you need to persuade her.
Love it. Love it. Here's our beautiful Dreams Come True board. So far, as you guys, if you were here last week, we became Twitch affiliates. We are so excited, but we can't wait to see this board fill up with all of our other dreams. But speaking of Twitch affiliate, boom.
Oh,
one of the
there's our cutie patootie.
One of the first little perks that we got is if you subscribe to the show, you get these cool custom little emotes in the chat. And we added a couple today, one being this little ducky friend sipping a little watermelon juice box right there. So if you want to throw that in the chat, if anyone's a subscriber, throw that in the chat right now. Now would be the time. So we're pretty excited about that. What else is in those emotes, Jojo? We
got a GFY emote, exclusive for the subscriberinos. And Randy Abs, please. Everybody Randy. Showing the love. Sean Evans. Who is that? Do I need to know who Sean Evans is?
On the vision board. I think he's the hot sauce guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll get him
that's
on
right.
the board. We'll get him on the board.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, we might need to resize that one. It's a little bit little. Okay, this is great.
Fantastic. So we're very excited about the emotes. Please subscribe to the channel. We're going to be rolling out more Twitch perks in the following weeks. We're learning all about it, and it seems like there's going to be some really fun stuff. But yeah, we kicked off this week with some new emotes. And Jojo, I don't want to, give too much away, but I think there's some animated emotes in our future. Is that fair to say?
Oh, there are. They are pending approval, my man. These things, apparently Twitch has a manual approval process for this. So if there's anything you feel you need to emote during a show, maybe let us know sooner rather than later, because I'm told by Reddit it might take a week or so to get this done. It's all right if we talk about Hydro Flask for a minute more, because there's a lot of gas, a lot of juice here in the in the comments.
Yeah,
there's some questions juice? and all right, this first of all does need to go while we're talking manifestation board. Jojo needs a T-Bash hat. I think we all need and deserve a T-Bash hat.
Of course.
So a limited edition hat. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Now, there's the thing. Yes, so many of you said we had this. I got a Hydro Flask many years ago because of us. So yeah, so this is what I'm saying. I'm not all of a sudden. I'm down. It served me right for many years. We
were day one.
100%.
Yeah.
A little tough love for me for them would be to get rid of the little the logo, which is not exactly my aesthetic. This little guy, I wish he was made out of little droplets. I find it strange. He looks kind of like that, like the thing on all the merch in Arizona.
I think he should have gotten a different color.
They should have made the Hydro Flask character a different color.
I think you should have gotten a different color bottle.
I thought you said you liked it.
I think you should have gotten a different color and maybe the smaller size.
What? Why? Why would I have done that?
I guess I would have gotten a different color and a different size bottle.
Well, I
That's
wouldn't
all.
have done that. Well, that's
Sorry.
fine. That's
just
why.
me.
That's why we are allowed to buy individual items. You know, that's. God, now I'm stressing about this.
You are a chugger though, so that 32 ounces might come in handy.
Here's the other thing about. You know why I'm going to use this in the car? Because it's got a straw. I don't have to go like this anymore. The old one, you always had to go like this. This
Let me see that straw.
down
Does it
low.
just pops off.
The straw. You want to see the whole thing?
Yeah,
The whole
sure.
assembly? Why not? That's why we're here, is it not? There it is. I had to cut it to fit, even though this is an official Hydro Flask product.
Stop right there. Are you being real?
I'm very real. It came with 2 straws. I cut them both at the same time, so they're ready to rip.
You had to cut the straw for the water, the Hydro Flask bottle that you bought brand new?
Yeah, because it fits up to the 40 ouncer.
Is this a refurbished Hydro
Yeah.
Flask?
No, but check this out. I was in More You Know says I was at a camp in college and saw one being a Hydro Flask that had been sitting in the same place for a couple of days in the pouring rain. You guys said they were good, so I took it. I dumped the water out and drank out of it for a solid 2 days. I regret
Wait, we need to know why you regretted your decision. You can't just
Was-
leave us hanging there.
the decision to drink out of a Hydro Flask, the decision to take a Pound Puppy Hydro Flask from the streets, or your decision not to wash it and just to dump out the water.
Oh wait, here we go. We have a follow-up. To clarify, I regretted my decision not because it was a bad water bottle, but
Thank
because
you.
I didn't clean it after the previous owner had used it and it had been sitting in the pouring rain for 2 days.
This is an important beverage aside. Rain is not the same as it's not an abrasive. It doesn't clean.
What if it's acid rain?
Ooh, acid rain. That's a good question. We'll have to ask a scientist. Now, Randy Av asks, is only for water? Yes. It's the only thing that's going in here. I'm not, no hot bevs, just water. Because it was also asked, how am I cleaning that straw spout? I got straw brushes for days. I got 2 little kids. We're cleaning water bottle straws on the daily. My wife did Invisalign. I was into cleaning metal straws. I am a straw cleaning master. I do this truly every day. So throwing one straight straw into the mix, it was a no-brainer. So, all right, that feels good.
That feels great. That feels
got to
great.
sticker it up. You're right. I got to sticker it up. We need some T-Bash stickers. Those are unquestionably coming.
Let's get some stickers. Let's get some hats going. Follow us on all the social media, our TikTok, the Instagram at TBASHLIVE. And next week, we got a very exciting week next week. We're going to be doing Kool-Aid Tropical Punch Flight, the same flavor, but 4 different deliveries of it. Would you call it
Yeah.
that maybe?
Kool-Aid Tropical Punch 4 ways.
Yes, I do think so. We got the Tropical Punch mix. We got the topical punch.
This is a topical punch.
We got the jammers, we got the liquid drops, and we got the bursts. So very excited about that next week. Hope you guys join us for that action.
Roro, any predictions on that one? Is there anything you're feeling strongly about?
I have a feeling we're going to like the bursts best. That would be my gut. Do you have any
That is
predictions?
100% where my heart is. That is, I want those bursts to shine.
Yeah, for sure. What else do we got going on here? Oh, tonight's special guest.
Uh-huh.
Did something just happen?
I just really like this comment. My wife did Invisalign is such a flex. Shouting.
Goodness.
Okay, tonight's special guest. I can't wait. Why am I delaying this satisfaction?
We got a good one tonight. Are you ready, JoJo?
Yes.
Okay. Once again, we have a pop artist that drinks things.
Wow. 2 for 2. Could you imagine? Like, what are the odds?
We are on a roll. This pop artist is allergic to fruit. Okay? Interesting.
All fruit?
I don't know. And I don't know if we'll find out because I don't know if it'll be beverage relevant.
Good point.
She makes bangers like the song Ears Bunny, which yours truly actually produced. So that's kind of fun.
Wow. That's
And check, can you see that up there? This is a still from the video.
Oh,
She's got a little cup of tea right there.
dropping a sugar cube in it.
Oh, yeah.
Classic.
Classic. She's going to be on a West Coast tour in June.
Is that her van?
That's definitely her van right there.
That's incredible. Look at that
And
S-hole.
she might
rear
like
window.
ducks. We're going to find out. But
First
honestly,
question.
we're not going to be talking about most of those things. So please welcome to the show, Maddie Ross. Maddie, welcome.
Hey.
I've basically just been yelling at my screen for 20 minutes trying to jump in about every single thing you've been talking about so far.
Oh,
Well,
we can
let's just-
rewind on any of these you want.
Let's get in on the Hydro Flask real quick because I am curious if you have any thoughts on that weird orange-colored Hydro
Do you
Flask.
want to see it again?
Andy, you know I have thoughts on this. I was kind of a evangelical hydro flasker in my day, like 5 or so years ago. I was
Seems
like
about right.
very obsessed with it. Anytime I was on stage, I would like drink a sip and be like, hydro flask, just so everyone knows the product placement.
Wow.
And then similar to what you mentioned, I don't know what happened, but I just dropped off it one day. And then all my friends were like, what the fuck? You told me to get a hydro flask. And now you don't even drink from it. But I had the sport cap. I had a nice thin one that fit in my cup holder.
Yeah, that's the one I 86 today.
Yeah. I mean, I'm interested in the straw besides the cleaning mechanism, which you went over. This is just everything that's been going on in my head, and the chat covered most of it. But I have been on the edge of my seat.
They're pretty efficient in that way. But yeah, cleaning it's easy. I guess this spill-proof straw one is new. So
Did
Yeah.
it come
new
with
for 2022.
Were there instructions on how to cut the straw?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very simple. Do you want to know?
Yeah, please.
I can walk you
This
through
is-
it.
If ever there was a
Maddie?
venue for it, this
Let's
is it.
walk through it.
Okay. So you put the straw in to your vessel,
Mm-hmm.
and then where it touches the lid, you cut it flat. So you just it was very easy. Just lay scissors across the top and they go, right? And then it says cut the bottom of the straw at a 45-degree angle. So I actually, the same side I cut that at a 45-degree angle, keep that factory line on one side, That's it.
This is
Like a dream.
This is typically a $45 vessel, right?
Yeah, you would think at that price they could include a custom sized straw.
It's absurd.
Yes.
It is
and the
absolutely
lid
absurd.
was an extra $10. So you could easily be hitting the $60 mark if you have to get it shipped and stuff.
And having to cut your own straw. Will you raise it up one more time? Because it does match our kind of color scheme.
Yeah,
which
I could-
that
look,
is kind of nice.
This could be my I get that sticker. It just says JoJo on it.
Oh my goodness. Well, Maddie, we like to kick things off with our guests with something called the beverage profile.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the beginning of your typical day, whenever you wake up. So what time would that on a typical day be?
8.
Okay. And what is the first thing that you're drinking in the morning, and what time does that happen?
Tetley tea with milk, with oat milk and a spoonful of honey at
Hold on.
approximately 8:30.
Is this tea coming in hot? What are we doing here?
It's hot, yeah. This is the tea that my Canadian parents have been serving me first thing in the morning since I was like 10 years old. It's just like the only beverage I'll drink in the morning.
And circle back to the preparation. Well, yeah, we want to know how you prepare it. Yeah, just take us through it, preparation of the whole thing and the ingredients again.
Okay, it's really simple. It's the first thing I ever learned how to make. You just boil hot water. I think you're familiar. The tea kettle.
What
situation.
kind of? Do you have a kettle that you put on the stove, or you have an electric situation?
I have an electric kettle. I had a like Le Creuset. When you're in your 20s and you're like, oh, I have my first kitchen. I want a cute tea kettle. I got the Le Creuset, and then it got just like charred on the bottom somehow, even though it's $100 tea kettle. And I was like, this is stupid. It goes way too slow. My oven is old and tired, and I'm 21. This is hard. I'm just gonna get an electric kettle. So ever since then, I've had an electric kettle.
Have you been ride or die with the same electric kettle?
Nope. Because when I'm really tired, I get really clumsy. And twice I had this like a glass one, and twice I like lifted it up and just bonked it into a cabinet and completely shattered the whole thing. It was just left like holding a handle. And so then I got a copper one. So now I have a copper electric kettle from Target, and it works great.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so you heat the water up. What's next?
You throw in a tea bag, and then
And what is Tetley tea? And also, wait, I don't know if you noticed that, but I'm glad JoJo was frozen because you were frozen, weren't you, JoJo? That makes more sense.
My computer just like shit the bed mid.
Oh, good.
I think it was because of all that Le Creuset slander.
You had a great expression on your face, just kind of locked in intently, which was nice. So, okay, so Tetley tea. What is Tetley tea? What flavor is it? Is that the brand name?
it's the brand name, and it's a English breakfast tea. It's
Okay.
British.
Is there any caffeine in that, or is that no
Yes.
caffeine? There is.
hmm
Okay, so boil the water.
You boil the water. You boil the water.
Is it coming from the tap, or are you
Oh yeah, great question.
you putting Voss water in it every morning?
No, it's coming from the tap.
Great.
Yeah, and then like there's stuff you're supposed to do to clean your kettle involving vinegar, but I think that's disgusting, and so I don't do it. So I'll scrub it with a scrub brush, but there's definitely some hard minerals kind of on the edge at this point.
Oh, sure. To what do you call that? There's a name for that.
Calcification?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're de
Oh, you're supposed to descale it.
descale.
Yeah.
Boing. He
It's
got it.
this city though. My hairdresser when I moved here was like, "Do you swim every single day now?" And I was like, "No." She was like, "Your hair feels terrible." And then she was like, "Oh, it's because you're in LA. It's just the water."
Interesting.
Does your hairdresser live in Los Angeles?
No, she lives in the Bay Area, which is where I'm from. And I still, even though I'm about to be 30, I still go home and get my hair cut from her.
That's a whole
Okay.
different podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
sorry.
kind of rude of
No,
them
really
to say that.
Yeah. for
No,
sure.
no. She has no boundaries. She lets me have it.
So, you put the tea in. Do you have a favorite mug? And how long are you steeping the tea?
Okay, my favorite mug is from this ceramicist in New York called Franca NYC. It's really cute. It's porcelain. I also have a couple Le Creuset mugs that I do like. I'm not completely against the brand. I'm just against their kettle, which is overpriced and somehow becomes charred on the bottom.
Yes.
I like tall mugs. I don't really like the standard size mug. And I won't touch a mug with a tiny little handle where you've got to put your fingers in it like this,
Yeah.
you know?
100%.
Love
So
that.
the mug,
You got to be able to grab the mug.
Does your mug have a handle, or is it handleless?
no, it definitely has a handle.
Okay.
I
I actually also had the Hydro Flask mugs for a while. I ordered some to go on tour because I was like, oh, I need a handleless mug for my cup holder. And I lost both of them. So they were nice while they lasted. They actually almost kept the tea a little bit too hot. I burned my tongue a few times. So then I would pour a little bit of filtered water into it after I made the tea because they worked a little too well.
I can
Look,
see that.
one of our listeners might be drinking out of one of those mugs right now. So
So the tea, you put the tea in, and then how you dressing it up?
So I have a giant tub of honey. It's like probably this big. And it comes from, I have these really close family friends who live on a farm in Modesto. And they have a bunch of beehives on their farm. And they get a bunch of raw honey and give it to me in bulk. So I keep like a giant plastic tub of raw
So
honey.
you're scooping the honey out.
Like a bear, yeah, but with a
Mm.
spoon instead of my paws.
And then anything else? Does the honey kind of melt into it? Does it all kind of liquefy together?
I put the honey and the tea bag in, then I pour some hot water in it, top it off with a little bit of oat milk. Used to be 2% milk. Recently, it's now just oat milk. I'm just fully converted.
And what kind of oat milk are you using?
I'll go all over, really.
We recently shot out all the oat milk, so we have a clear fave.
What's the fave?
It's Oatly.
Oatly.
Okay, that's what I think too.
Yeah, almost by like a landslide.
It's
to be
way
honest.
creamier. It's got more body to it. Yeah, Oatly that's sort of my top choice. I have Trader Joe's oat milk right now that's like pretty thin and not a super strong flavor, but it's fine for my tea. It doesn't need to be full body for my tea.
And
You want that
how
Tetley
much
to
oat milk
shine.
how much are you putting in? Just a dash or?
Just a dash. I would say like this is not a helpful reference, I guess, but this much.
That much. Yes.
For our podcast listeners, she spread her arms super wide.
No, the term I would use is 2 splashes.
That's great. And then, so how long is it just going to be 1 cup of tea at 8:30? How long is this tea lasting you?
Okay, that is it. But I would like to add an interesting thing. Well, I don't know how interesting it is. This is a beverage podcast.
It's super interesting.
This would be the place to say what I'm going to say. I am huge into matcha, and so that is if I really need to be caffeinated, then I go for matcha. And basically, the reason is because I don't drink coffee really at all anymore. It makes me feel I just get really nauseous when I drink coffee. And I do love a Phil's mint mojito. That's like the one thing that I'll sometimes get coffee for because it just tastes so good. But what is that face? Is that an anti?
Well, we were just talking Phil's at the very top of the show.
Yeah.
I drank. It used to be a tradition. We would get Friday Phil's in this house, but it really is a thing that like it makes me insane. Like it makes me very fucking nuts. I really might have to do an on Phil's live stream on a Friday morning sometime.
Yeah, did they like do something different? I don't
know.
I don't know what to do.
It's a ton of caffeine. The coffee is super strong. And then they put mint and stuff and it tastes great.
It's incredible. It's like the best thing I've ever tried coffee wise, I would say.
Yeah. They do one with cardamom too. That's very solid.
Yes.
I'll get involved with that.
Yeah, Phil's rules. If I'm gonna have coffee, I would want it to be Phil's. That would be my number one choice.
And if you're doing matcha, is that a home thing or is that only out in the world?
Okay, well, I have a lot to say about home matcha out in the world. Matcha is just so hit or miss. But basically, because I drink Tetley, which is like, I think black tea has like a quarter of the amount of caffeine as 1 cup of coffee. So it's like I'm pretty generally low on the caffeine consumption. And it's more like on days when I skip Tetley, if I ever do, I don't really feel it. Like I feel like it actually is sort of the ritual of it. I know
you're not getting headaches or something if you miss a Tetley's.
Exactly. And I know that like sometimes when you're like a caffeine addict, you're like, I just love the ritual. But it's like, I think it really is like, there's like a little bit of sugar in it, like a tiny bit of caffeine. It's like hot water. Like it just wakes me up and it feels nice on my throat. And it's like part of my routine. But then if I have something where I actually really want to be caffeinated, then I'll go get a matcha. And to me, the matcha caffeine high is like, it's like very green. Like I just feel like clean and energetic. And I'm like, oh, this is what a caffeine high feels like. Whereas if I drink coffee, I'm like alert and buzzed and shaky, but I feel like I still feel brown and mucky and gross. And like, I don't feel like my mind is clear. I just feel like my body is jacked up on caffeine. But then with matcha, I just feel like my brain functions so well. Like I can see everything really clearly. Like I'm speeding up just talking about it. No, but I feel like it really gives me an actual caffeine high in a good way.
I love hearing that because I have a very similar feeling where I was very late to coffee, and then when I started it, it was iced coffees, and I liked them, but they made me feel like shit, and I realized that about 6 months in, and was like, I
Yeah.
can't do this. But prior to that, I had been coming from the green machine, also drinking a lot of Mountain Dew, and uh, there's a ton of caffeine in Mountain Dew, and it never
It's
messed
based
me
off
up.
of matcha, some say.
Yeah, exactly.
The other green caffeinated beverage.
Yes.
But all jokes aside, Mountain Dew or like Coca-Cola, I can have those and I don't get the shitty body feeling, buzzy feeling that I get from coffee. And I'm curious if that's kind of I kind of want to try matcha for that reason.
I am so like I tell everyone to try drinking matcha. I feel like it's so because it's like really strong because it's distilled into a powder, and it's like I don't know. The only thing about matcha is that it's very hit or miss, which answers your other question about do I do it at home or do I go places. My favorite matcha in LA is at A Block in Highland Park.
Okay.
They have a really good matcha, but it gets bitter. It gets more bitter if the water is too hot. So if you add like straight boiling water to matcha, it actually will make it taste worse. And there's sort of like there's an art to preparing it because it's like a ceremonial grade tea. So it involves like the people who make it right use a whisk and like there's a process involved that kind of brings out the best flavor of it. And so you can buy some at home, and if you do it at home, you want to get ceremonial grade because there's also like cooking grade, there's drinking grade, and then baking grade. And baking is like really shitty, but also like you got to be careful because some people will just label it ceremonial grade, like it's not very regulated.
Ceremonial tea's not highly regulated. Sounds about right. Yes.
Yeah. We really got to get on that. I think we got to start more heavily regulating women's bodies, ceremonial teas, all that type of thing.
Yeah, that's number 2 I heard on the list. The ceremonial teas that are coming for it next. I think, Andy, you're going to hate matcha, and I look forward to you experiencing it.
Well, let's do it. I mean, does it feel like it would be a morning broadcast, do you think, JoJo? Would we be insane to do it in the evening?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
But
Okay. So
Lizzie here in the comments saying you got to try a matcha lemonade for an afternoon pick-me-up.
Oh, see,
That sounds pleasant.
That sounds like matcha on training wheels. That might be good for me.
Yeah, that's kind of like a half and half.
Even that though, watch out for it. It's like very caffeinated. Even that will.
I just want to feel it. I'm curious. I'm curious if there's a caffeine high that's different than the coffee high that I would enjoy. So I do want to try it.
It's a completely different high. I swear. So
let's get back to your profile though. So tea on a non-tea day, we might do some matcha. Like what's happening after 8:30 after this first tea, or if you're out and about getting a matcha? Take us like still before lunch, or are there other beverages happening?
Well, can I add one more thing about matcha before we move on?
Sure.
Because it does answer one of your earlier questions, which is there's this brand called Clever. I think it's like very millennial Target branded. Like there's no vowels in it. It's like Clover. Maybe it's Clover. I don't know actually.
Oh,
I think it's Clever. Anyway,
it's very clever of them to name it that though.
But it comes with like it's a matcha, but then it has some oat milk powder in it, and it has like lion's mane, like just random health stuff, and like maybe some collagen in it. There's like some mix basically, and then all you have to do is add hot water and then use one of those electric whisks and blend it, and it's supposed to be creamy already like a latte because it has the powdered milk in it. And it was okay, but it tasted a little bit like artificial sweetener to me, even though there wasn't any supposedly in it. It just tasted really sweet. And I kind of like the less sweet, like I like an unsweetened matcha or maybe like a little bit of honey in it. But sometimes it's kind of like a chai latte. Like, you know, you can get some that tastes like a milkshake and then some that taste so bitter. It's like you got to find what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
And that's all I'll say.
Okay. All right. Well, take us through your next moves throughout the day.
Okay. I don't drink nearly enough water. I I tried. I mean, that was why I bought the Hydro Flask in the first place. I was like, oh, maybe this will be fun if I have a cool little water bottle. But
How
I
many
have
ounces did you get?
16 or I don't know. I can't remember.
The
20.
smallest available one.
Yeah. Yeah. I have this water bottle right now, which is a Contigo.
Oh yeah,
And
that looks
it's,
nice. I like that.
I really like it. I was drinking this the other day, Andy. You push this little button and it opens up the straw, and it's pretty
Oh.
leak proof. Yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
but it's
If
not
you-
a straw. It's this kind.
You got to kick it back.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. There's no dangly straw into the bottle.
no, but
But
you
so
didn't have to
that's-
do any labor at home of cutting the straw either.
That's true. That's how they get you. Now, if in so this is kind of like an airlock on the top.
Yeah,
That's just-
totally, exactly.
If you
And
hold
then-
it upside down, will it not spill?
Let's see. Let's put it right over my laptop and
Good
see.
idea.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was stressful. It didn't. No leaks
Fantastic.
that I could see. No visible leaks.
Yeah, I think we're good.
It's got that fun little carabiner loop there,
Yeah,
so you can clip it onto your belt as you do.
And it fits in my cup holder. It's nice and thin.
That
That's
seems
good.
like a smart buy, a smart purchase.
This was a white elephant win. It wasn't even a purchase.
Oh, even better.
Yeah,
Did
it was-
anyone try to take it from you?
No.
A double
Well,
win.
actually, so this was my girlfriend's win, and I took it from her. So I guess I'm the post game
Beautiful.
stolen.
That's even better.
Yeah,
Honestly, that's
Yeah.
that's the best.
I
Okay,
always
so
win the white elephant in the end.
So a little water. So you're thinking about water in the morning. It sounds like.
I mean, there's water in my tea,
Okay.
so that counts.
So anything else besides water in your teeth? Thinking of water before lunchtime. What happens at lunchtime?
So I have gotten on bubbly water stuff, like a lime LaCroix or a lime bubbly, that type of thing. But only to kick my soda habit, which I am a very avid Coca-Cola drinker. And
Just
Oh.
regular classic Coca-Cola.
classic Coca-Cola.
Well,
So-
it lends itself well. to
Yeah,
what's
and I
to come.
never have diet or zero, whatever, of any of those. But I drink Coke all the time.
So wait, you're saying there might also be an odd chance tonight that you might stumble into a new friend tonight.
I might. I don't know.
A little meet cute during
Like-
the.
Because it seems like you would never think it would happen. I'm just getting that impression from you, where I have a premonition that Coke Zero might really speak to you tonight.
I'm interested to try it because I have tried it before and I'm like, what did I just drink? Because I'm so familiar with, the rich taste of a full glass of Coke.
Love it.
Oh, whoa! You're talking full glasses. My question was going to be, what's your preferred Coke? Do you like a Mexican Coke, a can of Coca-Cola Classic? Is it the little ones? Is it a
Well,
2-liter bottle that you just like to drink from all day long, or what is it?
all day long. I mean, obviously the Mexican Coke with the real sugar is like a treat. Like that's
So good.
that stuff's so good, obviously. But
It's the best.
grew up in a Costco household, and it's just like platforms of cans of Coke, and you grab one, you get a glass, fill it with ice to the brim, pour the Coke on it, watch little Coke icy frostings form around the ice cubes. Like that was my lifestyle.
This
When
is
was the
love.
last time you had a Coke?
Probably like a week ago.
Okay. So you're still rocking the Cokes, but you're trading in for your LaCroix and Bubblies to curb that a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like during the pandemic, I started drinking a lot of soda, and then I was like, I should cut this back a little. But there was just so little joy in human interaction that it was
Sure.
like became.
Some people reconnected with high school friends. You got back into sodas. This.
Exactly.
Now, and so lime is your preferred bubbly water flavor?
Yeah, because so Andy mentioned a fruit thing, and it's not what this podcast is about. So we don't
It
have to
seems
get
like it
into
might be.
Well, I don't like anything berry flavored. Just repulses me, and I have a really bad allergy to berries. So it's obviously rooted in something, but like it also disgusts me. And the smell of berries, I'm just like, get that away from my face. So
That's fair. And berry flavor, I feel like, is a tough thing to hit anyway. It
Yeah.
can be, even as a berry lover, I think it's like you could probably, it's a pretty short list of stuff that's like truly delicious that is berry flavor. And certainly topping it would probably be clearly Canadian. So shout out to your parents on that one. And so, yeah, so this, I do have to ask, is this fruit allergy like a deadly thing? Is it something that can land you in the hospital or anything if you accidentally, like somebody undisclosed gives you a smoothie with
It has
strawberries in it?
it has once landed me in the hospital. When I was in high school, I went for a run, and it was like a very like in springtime, like tall grasses, high allergy type of day anyway. And then I went for a run, so my body was like very already stimulated or whatever, I guess.
Sure.
And
Just, like,
then
open.
yeah, well, I mean, and allergy wise, like basically you can have basically I ate an orange after this run, and then and I remember strep throat was going around my school at the time, and all of a sudden my throat started feeling weird, and I was like, is this what strep throat feels like?
Oh,
Did it come on this
no.
fast? And I was like swallowing, and it was getting harder to swallow. And I went for the run, ate the orange, and then got in a hot shower. And then that was when my throat started feeling weird. And then I was like coughing, and then all of a sudden I like couldn't breathe, and I opened the door and I saw my reflection in the mirror, and my eyes were like almost swollen shut. Like I was having a full-blown
Whoa.
And so then I had to go to the hospital and like got epinephrine and whatever. And then after that, the allergist was like, I think you have an exercise-induced anaphylaxis. So basically like stuff that you're kind of allergic. Because I always told my parents like fruit and some nuts would make my throat really itchy. And they were like, oh, yeah, okay. And then this.
You can't itch your throat, Maddie.
I literally thought that chips are served with guacamole as like a way to you're not supposed to chew them too much and
Oh.
like scratch like I thought that was their purpose. They're all itching on the way down. So anyway, the doctor was like, there's some stuff that you might be like slightly allergic to, but then the combination of like going for a run, and then also the worst thing you're supposed to do if you're having an allergic reaction is hot water. Like you're supposed to get in a cold bath or something like that.
Oh, to like reduce the inflammation or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you don't want like your bloodstream. I don't know. The concept to me feels like hot blood or something. Like you don't want your system worked up and like pumping blood. I don't know. So
it's funny because when you said that that's what happened, I was like, oh, that might have been what saved your life, getting in a hot shower. That was my immediate thing. But anyway, yeah.
No, in first aid, they're like, if you ever have a child having an allergic reaction, don't put them in the bathtub, like, which is weirdly a lot of people's instinct. But if you it's gotta be cold water.
Huh.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay, so an orange did that, but lime you still go for.
Yeah, so citrus, I think I have like a little bit of an allergy, but I don't ever like eat it in large amounts. And if there's a little bit of lime or something in a drink, it doesn't really bother me or itch my throat that much. If I'm at a restaurant and they just like squeeze lemon into the water, that'll make my throat a little itchy. But like I don't drink orange juice anymore. And also the flavors palette that grosses me out is definitely berries and like that pamplemousse flavor of the LaCroix, like that's I'm like, ugh.
Have you tried like coconut or
I like the coconut.
You like the coconut? Okay, that makes sense. All right.
And you gave me a lemon whatever
limoncello. Yeah, I gave you a limoncello
yesterday.
And you liked it?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
All right. So, okay, so moving on throughout the day, tell us about your afternoon before dinner, into dinner. What is happening exactly?
This is so funny. Gosh, I don't think I really drink that much else besides my tea in the morning and then matcha sometimes. I've been getting these
That's it. That's a wrap.
Wow.
The day.
Honestly, like what
and
is
a Coke a week ago.
I just keep my mouth open in the shower to get that extra water later.
Cold shower.
Stay hydrated. I've got one mug in the house and that's all I need.
No, I discovered this little like coconut milk smoothie thing from Trader Joe's lately. It comes in a tiny little bottle, and it's like
Oh.
it's not coconut water. It's like coconut. Is it coconut milk or I don't know. I think it's coconut milk. There's some item at Trader Joe's that I tried recently that's a nice little beverage.
Yeah, crazy.
Dang.
Crazy. And then wow.
I
So
feel like you thought you
The
had way more
smallest
privilege.
quantity thing possible as well is really
Yeah.
getting me.
And then okay, so I guess let's fast forward to end of the night stuff because are you bringing anything into the bedroom onto the nightstand?
Honestly, if your girlfriend asks for that water bottle back, you need to give it to her. I don't feel like you have much of a claim to it.
I'm drinking.
Feels like a use it or lose it situation.
It's the same water that she put in it the day she bought it.
Yes. It's a factory water.
Okay.
No, she has her own water bottle. She has some like off-brand that I feel like she got out of a lost and found. I feel like no one I know has ever bought their own water bottle.
People, I'm all for reducing and reusing. I don't love all of this. I'm just going to grab the water bottle. Like, you ever go to a public pool in the summer and the lost and found is like one flipper and then like 800 water bottles that are just like sitting there in the sun, like evaporating and reconstituting the water over and over again with some like little kid germs in them.
Okay, wait. Can I tell you a bad parenting story? My mom, if she's watching, is probably gonna freak out. But
Yes.
Is it beverage related?
yes.
Then yes.
Oh my god, my mom is about to be so mad at me. So I was at a soccer tournament when I was young. We were heading to a soccer tournament. We did like competitive soccer, so we were having to drive to just like all these random places all over California every weekend. And my mom and me and my best friend were on the same team. So our moms were like, "Yeah, we'll take the girls this weekend and go to, I don't know, like a Lodi or something, stay in a hotel." So they packed the cooler. We're driving. It's late at night. And I'm like, I was really thirsty. And my mom was like, "Yeah, there's some water bottles in the back." So it's like pretty pitch black in the car. And I reach over the seat. I grab a water bottle out. And then I open it. And it's a Calistoga water bottle. And I start chugging it. And then I was really thirsty. Like, you know, the kind of chugging where you like open your throat. Like you're just,
Fuck
like
yeah.
I really pounded it back. And then all of a sudden I was like, and I was like, hand sanitizer. Oh my god, there's hand sanitizer in it. And I spat it everywhere. And then my mom was like, "Maddie, that had a skull and crossbones on it." Like that's a
What?
Wait a minute. Wait, is your mom making homemade hand sanitizer and putting it in water bottles?
She put vodka in it for her and her friends so they could make cocktails at the hotel.
Oh,
I love that.
And I
Hand
look, it's so dark,
sanitizer.
and I look at the plastic cap, and there's like a smeared Sharpie blob on it, and she's like, "That was a skull and crossbones."
This is 100% your mom's fault. You need to put that in a separate area.
And
Keep it
then
in
she
your
was
purse. Keep it on your person. You want to have
You know what
that.
else? Just bring the bottle of here's my suggestion. You bring the bottle of vodka and then some water.
Yeah.
And so then if you need to disguise it to like sneak it into the soccer tournament, I guess would be the play here.
Yeah.
Dump it in some hot
it's
chocolates. What's
Yeah.
happening?
It wasn't meant to go onto the soccer tournament grounds. I think it was meant to be, she was like, the parents all have like someone's room. What does that say?
Oh, it says GFY.
No, like she was gonna host, like she and her best friend who we were traveling with were gonna host like the parents to have cocktails after the game or something like that.
Yeah, they were.
But she said that she learned it from my teenage brother because she was cleaning out water bottles from his car and found one and just like put it back in the fridge and then later poured it and was like, "Oh my god, there's vodka in there." And then he got in trouble. And then she's like, That's genius. Bring it to our youngest
Couldn't be
daughter's
mad at
soccer
him.
tournament.
That is, well, man,
But-
I'm gonna party with your mom. That's fantastic.
My mom fucking rules. She is great, and she's a great mom. And this was a minor mishap, and it's a different age, and it was just I
She
thought
can
it was
come
like,
on the show.
Yeah, shout
She's
out
huge on
Maddie's
this
mom.
Yeah.
she-
All right, well
she drinks.
let's drink, guys. I'm ready
Yeah.
to drink. Does everybody have their bevies nearby? I'm gonna grab mine. They're near my feet.
I got them. Oh, I shouldn't have shaken those. Why did I shake the bag that all the cans were in?
Would you have them in a little cooler bag?
I have them in a little cooler bag
Awesome.
that I grabbed, just knowing that, takes a little while to
So
get
tonight,
to this
y'all,
place.
if you didn't know, we're doing Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Pepsi Zero, Coke Zero. We're doing the zeros and the diets. And I am super, super excited about this.
I haven't had a diet soda since the podcast.
Yeah, it's been ages for me too. And what's interesting is there are a lot of people out there that really go in on the Diet Coke. Like, it has a
Yes.
cult following. And if I'm going to be honest, I feel like Coke Zero is kind of starting to get a similar reputation. People that like Coke Zero fucking like Coke Zero.
Yes, absolutely. Could not agree more. There is.
Randy,
Oh
as I
yeah.
say here. I was a heavy Coke drinker, and then Mr. Diabetes sat me down, and I was sad. Diet Coke kind of makes me gag, but Zero is way better. First swig is solid, but I found Pepsi Zero to be better and closer to the real Pepsi flavor. Well, wow, if that doesn't get me excited, I don't know what will.
This-
Does anyone, Jojo, Maddie, do you have any experience with any of these?
I'm a regular Coke girl, so this is all pretty new to me.
Yes, I do. I feel like I did try to get in on the Diet Coke Zero train probably about 10 years ago. I think it was like, all right, trying to cut down on some stuff and get in better shape. And that seemed like a treat. But I used to hate drinking alcohol, made me accept diet soda because I realized, like, when you're first start drinking, like, your alcohol kind of tastes gross. And I was always like, well, Diet Coke also tastes gross because of the fake sugar. But when you kind of add one gross thing to another, it kind of negates it because you're not really paying attention to it or don't care as much. It's more about a delivery system. And as a result, I think that opened up the world of Diet Coke to me. But I remember being like, oh, Coke Zero is actually like where it's at. Like, this tastes good. But I don't know if I still feel that way. Again, it's
like
been seriously 10 years.
We have a big decision on the order in which we're going to do these. Because I feel like there's a couple different ways to go. We could
Aghast
start
at this
with
comment. I'm sorry. Only soda I ever drink is Baja Blast at T-Bell. Such a treat.
such a treat.
It's a 2-time treat, and you're exactly right. Treat yourself right. Baja Blast.
So how are we going to do this? I feel like if we start with the zeros, we're really doing a disservice to the diets. But also, if we start with the diets, I think then we're going to hit the zeros. I don't know. What does anybody have any thoughts? And if you're down in the chat, you want to let us know what you think too. Which one of these should we crack open first? Maddie, what do you think?
God, I don't know. I feel like we would start with the diet and then move on to the zero, right?
I'm leaning that way. I like.
Yeah.
I think I
But
like
like,
that.
do we go Coke, Pepsi, or do we go Pepsi diet? Right? Do we go Pepsi
They-
diet, Pepsi
They
zero?
do kind of feel like they need to go head to head against their competitor and then also against each other.
Yeah, we're gonna have to circle back. I think let's go. Let's start with the diets. And then
Wow.
we'll do the zeros, and then we'll kind of circle back the brands against each other. That makes sense?
Yes. Can I? This is kind of crazy. I'm I was going to ask this as trivia, but I've already kind of spoiled it. That Diet Pepsi is the oldest of these beverages by a mile.
Really?
Diet Pepsi first introduced in 1964.
Really?
Interesting.
Diet Coke not until 1982.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
What were
that's
they
right.
doing the whole time?
I don't know, but it's pretty wild that actually stuff like Tab and Diet Right and stuff were the precursors to Diet Coke, which then obviously just like took over as like in the Coke craze of marketing. I feel like in the 80s. I don't really see any other reason why it would have. But I was going to say like, oh, we'll start with Diet Coke because that seems like the OG. But now that I know this, it makes me want to start.
Yeah.
I love that. Let's start Diet Pepsi, guys. Let's pop them open.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Nice crack on this tiny can. I love that these are all tiny cans. Can I say that?
Me too.
Yeah.
Why do we have 2 each in case one just is a
Just
bust?
in case you really need to go harder.
Do we go?
This smells good.
Oh, that's really good.
This is way better than I thought it would be too.
Agreed. Huh.
I have thoughts already.
Hit us. What you got?
The immediate taste is really close. Is Pepsi. Like they nailed it. And then the aftertaste is where you can taste that sweetener.
Yeah, the aspartame.
And are all of these? Is it aspartame on all of these?
We'll
find out.
Thought
But
that
this one is definitely aspartame.
Yeah, I thought that the Coke Zero was like a stevia situation.
Okay.
No,
We'll check that one out
aspartame.
when we get to it. This is
I'll look now.
surprisingly decent.
I agree. I'm surprised. This tastes the least like a diet beverage of I feel like any diet beverage.
We're about to find out.
I wonder too, because I mentioned the like kind of cult following of Diet Coke. Is there a Diet Pepsi tribe that goes in on this? Do you know what I mean?
It's not a cultural thing the way Diet Coke is, I feel like.
Not even close.
Whatever it is. How is this 0 calories? Is that a lie?
I think they would be held pretty accountable for that.
Yeah, I mean it's 0 calories because it is just, the Sweet and Low in it there has no calories. It's a chemical sweetener. And then it's just water and like caramel coloring and like phosphoric acid. That's like all of these.
What?
And they add, caffeine in there.
Let's move on to the Diet Coke, that is.
Okay. That Diet Pepsi taste we just had reminded me of Costco.
Go on.
Just the flavor of getting the soda at Costco.
Simply.
Here we go. I almost feel like I need a little palate cleanser or something.
know.
Did
I'm a
yours
little
taste
confused.
like? I'm sorry. Did yours taste like nothing at all?
I'll tell you what, it smelled like nothing at all, and I went back to the Pepsi one because I was like, does this one smell? Which surprised me, but...
Okay.
It smells a little bit like a can if you get your nose right up to it.
This is better than my memory, too. Maddie, what were your thoughts, Maddie? Sorry, I didn't...
I agree about the palate cleanser. I was like, it took a minute to distinguish, and then something in my brain recognized a similar flavor of Coke, like it recognized a similar flavor of Pepsi with the first one. And then it's that aftertaste where you just get that like terrible sweet aftertaste
Yes.
that you don't get with Coke or Pepsi.
My thought, what's really interesting about this is they really hold up the, what's the word I'm looking for? This Diet Coke feels very Coke-like in the sense of it isn't as sweet as the Pepsi. It's not trying as hard, and it does almost taste a little classier, even at the expense of not tasting as good. Does that make any sense?
I couldn't agree more.
Do you
Yes.
think it's less sweet than the Pepsi?
Yes.
Yes, it's a weird thing saying that, right? Because there's not sugar, but I guess they are sweetened with whatever they're sweetened with. But yeah, it's not as
Okay, go back now.
Okay.
Go back to the Pepsi. There's just more flavor in the Diet Pepsi. The Diet Coke has less flavor.
Agreed. But the point I'm making though is if you had a regular Pepsi and a regular Coke, I think you're coming away from it with the same feeling. Where Pepsi is like sweeter, and that was their whole thing when they were doing like blind taste tests back in the '80s. Most people were picking Pepsi of like, this is what I like more, like in a blind taste test. But the reality is you actually don't want that sweetness on a longer daily driver situation, I don't think.
Yeah, like
and
a
the
full,
Diet Coke, it feels classier.
bigger bubbles too, I feel like, in the Diet Coke. More bubbly.
I thought that too. I had the same thought.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Getting burpy.
Are we allowed to compare ingredients?
Yeah, of course.
That's what we're here for.
And yeah, but you nailed it that it is like, it's not as, it embodies, they both embody their parents.
And hats off to both of them for that, honestly.
Great R&D. BW says, my wife likes Diet Pepsi from the can, but Diet Coke from the tap.
I love that kind of detail.
I do too. Especially love they're living this fantasy adult world where they maybe even have an at-home Diet Coke tap. Like I, as student body president, will install Dr. Pepper water fountains all over the school.
I thought you were going to say this fantasy world where you have a wife at home.
Aw. No, all of our listeners are.
They have almost the exact same ingredients, except for Pepsi at the end says sulfame potassium, and that's not on the Diet Coke.
Gotcha. And the
Interesting.
nutrition facts are I think are spot on, right?
Yeah.
We need our beverage compliance officer up in here to talk to us. I don't know if she knows as much about soft drinks, but I know as far as like ingredient disclosures, there's certain things they don't have to, like sort of natural flavorings, kind of what the actual chemical components of their secret formulas are. They don't have to disclose that too.
I have
Randy's right that this would have been a very interesting blind shootout. This is prime to put these all in tiny 8-ounce
That
cozies.
being said, well, it'll be interesting to see the difference in the zeros. I think we clearly would have known the difference between the Pepsi and Coke.
We'll
in a
never
blind
know
shootout.
now.
We won't know, but I feel very confident in that.
I do too.
Let's go Pepsi Zero first, I think. That seems fair, right?
Yeah. Did you guys get like a delayed bubbly kind of burpy reaction to this?
I don't even know if it was delayed. I just got very burpy as soon as I drank the Diet Coke.
Mine happened like 3 minutes after.
I will also say I am definitely feeling the caffeine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is a surprise to me.
Wait, are these aren't caffeine for you?
No.
No,
I'll
we
tell you
went-
what, my father-in-law loves caffeine-free regular Pepsi, which is very hard to find.
Huh.
Okay, Pepsi Zero. That's nice.
That's way better than the diet stuff.
Yeah. This is a treat.
This is really good.
I got to put this up against classic DP.
Yeah, I'm circling back to Diet Pepsi as well.
Huh. Boy. Like, honestly, blind would I know the difference.
Mm-hmm. It's the
Okay.
aftertaste with the diet.
I have a weird
I don't know.
comment.
Go back now to Pepsi Zero.
Tell me if this resonates at all. This feels like a weird comment, but something in my gut tells me the Diet Pepsi is more addicting than the Pepsi Zero. Like it feels like it could sink its claws into you more.
This Pepsi Zero Sugar is pretty good. How is it any different than diet though? If they both have zero sugar, like
It's a different sweetening mechanism.
Just
So these do not have aspartame.
They do.
It does?
They all do.
Yeah.
So what is the difference?
Because for a while, I don't think they still do this. You could get Diet Coke sweetened with Splenda. I think that's what I was thinking of. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. All right.
Yeah, like what would be the difference? Just the color of the can? I mean, they do taste different.
Wow, it really does have very similar.
The Zero has some ginseng root extract. Ginseng.
Ginseng?
Yeah, the Zero has some ginseng root extract and natural flavors.
Interesting.
That is very interesting. I thought there was going to be like a standout different ingredient, but it seems more subtle than that.
This is like way more intense of an exercise than I thought it would be. Okay.
Yeah.
Should we crack into the Coke and then we'll keep, because I think there's going to be a lot of circling back that we need to do on these. And I'm really.
Well, my mom just texted me and said, "Doesn't Pepsi Zero mean no caffeine?"
No, that's an interesting marketing.
Is it?
That might be why they say zero sugar now, because I really don't remember the Coca-Cola one saying zero sugar. I thought it was just Coke Zero, but I wonder if that's to make that abundantly clear.
Fascinating.
It doesn't say caffeine free anywhere on this, so I think it has caffeine.
No, they all have caffeine in the ingredients.
This Coke Zero. This Coke Zero.
Is it the one?
It just feels classier than the bunch.
How do you feel about it, Maddie?
I think I like the Pepsi Zero the best.
Man,
I'm going back to Pepsi Zero.
This is crazy. Do I like Diet Pepsi the best of all of these?
Ooh, I might be with Maddie, actually.
I am an originalist. Let's see here.
Okay, this probably, there's no way this can be true, but something about the Coke Zero tasted like the smallest hint fruity to me, which immediately turned me off.
No, you're right. This, honestly, we're not necessarily ranking these yet, but we could. This is the worst to me. The Coke
I know
Zero.
what you're saying with that taste. I do know what you're saying. I like this one, though.
Now, they did recently change the formula of Coke Zero.
Interesting.
Now it's called Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. It is no longer called Coke Zero. And now this may be your mom's confusion. I wonder if that's why they changed the name. God, so burpy. This is gnarly.
Okay, I just went back and took a sip of Diet Coke, and it tasted like poison.
Okay, I'm going back to the Diet
I think Diet Coke is maybe the worst one.
I will say, though, the first sip of Diet Pepsi also immediately gave me like teeth sweaters.
What are teeth sweaters?
Oh, drink a little more DP and you'll know. It's that feeling where it's like shit coats your teeth and it feels like you have little
I know what you mean.
slimy sweaters on your teeth. It's disgusting.
This is such a moving target, and it's really changing for me. I will say that the surprise of the night is Diet Pepsi so far for me. And I also want to say, and JoJo, I think you can attest to this, I just dislike so much stuff in general.
That's true.
I'm surprised. All of these are pretty good.
Yeah, you haven't kicked anyone out of bed, have you, here?
You know what I mean?
I am surprised by my reaction as someone who has been so ride or die Coca-Cola for so many years that both Coke beverages are inferior to both Pepsi beverages to me. So as I'm beginning to rank them, I think.
I'm very curious to I might have to do a little blind taste test of the zeros to my wife, because she does not fuck with Pepsi at all.
Hmm.
And I'm curious if it could pull her to the Pepsi side.
I will also say, if you just go down the line with these, all 4 of them, they now taste identical.
I
Okay.
I am not getting that actually.
Just take a sip while I'm gonna.
There's something fruity happening about this Coke Zero.
Yeah, More You Know said, I just Googled aspartame and it's 200 times sweeter than sucrose, which is pretty crazy. And that's true. And that's also why, if, say, you're cooking for a diabetic, you don't just want to go like 1-to-1 substituting aspartame or, a sweet and low or something for sugar in a baking recipe. It would taste vile and probably be inedible. But that's a different show.
If anyone, if any of the Googlers in the chat have any leads on if there's like a false fruit flavoring in here, I'm curious. Like, you know how Dr. Pepper has
Prune juice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dr. Pepper, JoJo suggested Dr. Pepper Zero a few times when we were setting this up.
For that.
Which I kind of was being a little negative about and shooting down. But when I went to the store, JoJo, I feel like we made the right decision because there was a whole plethora of other Zero colas, which I think could be a whole other night where we do Dr. Pepper Zero, and then there's all sorts of other Zeros, which I think might be a fun night. Whereas I feel like these are definitely a family to go toe to toe.
You're right. And I am glad that we decided not to include the full fat versions of any of these in here because I think they would just so far outshine these beverages. It's nice to just give a little spotlight to these weird chemical freaks here and enjoy them.
All right, well, we got to get down to business. We got to rate these, I think. JoJo, I want you to go first, I think.
Me?
Yeah, I think we're going to have Maddie go last, and I want you to go first.
Okay. Shit, man. Okay. Good.
The podcast listener just hears, okay. Okay.
All right. Okay. I think the best one of the bunch is possibly Pepsi Zero late entry.
Okay.
Followed by Diet Pepsi, followed by Diet Coke, and fully at the bottom is Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Doesn't taste good.
Okay. I'm gonna go number one, Pepsi Zero. Then, God, this is hard.
I'm getting, Maddie, the fruit flavor on Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. I think I can identify it after you go.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Okay. All right. I'm going Pepsi Zero, then Diet Pepsi, then Diet Coke, and then actually Coke Zero at the bottom.
Wow, so the same order.
Is that the exact same order as yours?
Exact same order.
Yeah. But let me say this. I really kind of feel like Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke are tied for me for different reasons. Like,
Yep.
I like them both. I really do. I don't know if one... I could see one nudging the other out. I really do feel like they're kind of tied for me, if I'm going to be honest.
And I kind of feel like no wrong answer. As I mentioned, the more I drank them, the more the same. I didn't hate the Diet Coke either. All right, sorry, Maddie, go off.
Okay. I'm pretty firmly with the same order as what you both just said, but I also am with you, Andy, in comparing the Diet Coke versus Diet Pepsi. Just now, after I've been drinking them for like 30 minutes straight and I'm really sugared out, the Diet Coke is the most watered down or the least sweet. And so at this point in the game, it's the one I want the most of because I'm so overloaded with sweet. which is what you were to your theory earlier of that maybe being the most addictive. So when you're just doing the blind early taste test, there's more flavor in the Pepsi. But I think that Diet Coke is the least sweet and is more drinkable for a
Yeah,
whole.
I think that's like kind of the secret to their success. Because if you
Yeah.
imagine having 3 Diet Cokes in a day, I feel like
Yeah.
you can wrap your head around that. But 3 Diet Pepsis in a day seems absurd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
So I think, yeah. But if I'm just going off of plain flavor, I would say Pepsi Zero, Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, Coke Zero.
Are we all going to start fucking with Pepsi Zero?
No,
we're
I think
just gonna drink Coke.
yeah, I think for what Maddie said that it's the Diet Coke really still might be what I would get. No, that's not true. Because if I'm gonna have one of these, I'm gonna have one, and one of these little cans seems just right. Oh man.
And can we talk about the little cans for a minute? I was actually really excited that they were all available in these little cans because it's to me kind of fascinating in if you think of like 7-Eleven culture and the the fountain drinks getting bigger and bigger and at the movie theater getting bigger and bigger, supersize at McDonald's bigger and bigger, it's kind of interesting that the soda industry was like, let's start making little cans. It kind of seems backwards to where everyone else is going, but I kind of love it because this is like the perfect amount for me.
Yeah. I think you're right.
I feel like it's like they're using our words against us, and they know that people are just buying even more of the little cans, not like, oh, I'm going to, where you think it's about
Exactly.
cutting down.
It's to sell more.
It's to sell more.
Yeah.
But also shout out to Randy hitting the Diet Mellow Yellow from the Freestyle Machine. Or Mellow Yellow Zero. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Nice that it ends with an O. That works out great for their brand.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. So Maddie, just one more time, what's your order again?
Pepsi Zero, Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, Coke Zero.
We're unanimous.
Unanimous. This almost feels like a first, especially with 4 drinks in the lineup. That feels hard to do. And I feel like the taste in Coca-Cola Zero sugar is old banana peels.
Oh, interesting.
It has that like not just fruity but like overripeness to it that is yucky.
I almost the flavor that was tickling my brain was cherry, but maybe you're right. I haven't eaten an old banana peel, so I don't know.
Oh, you gotta eat an old banana peel.
If you go back to Diet Coke right now, kind of reinforcing what you just said a minute ago, Maddie, it really does seem like the most like, oh, yeah, I could drink this. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, they really do start blending together in some wild ways.
But I don't think so. If I go Diet Coke to Diet Pepsi, I'm like, that Diet Pepsi's sweet.
I need to stop drinking these.
But the taste is better, though. It just is. I think our instinct is telling us it's better.
We're right.
For which one?
For Diet Pepsi versus Diet Coke.
The Pepsi family of products.
Yeah, Pepsi.
Oh my God.
I
Okay.
believe they've done this to Coca-Cola, but Pepsi's better.
They really snatched their crown.
Well, if anyone's drinking with us down there in the chat, please let us know what your fave is. I'm so curious.
If anybody wants to jump in the hot seat right now and defend Coca-Cola Zero Sugar,
you raise your hand.
You raise that hand.
Wow, that was interesting. I'm buzzing right now.
Yeah,
Can I
feel.
Can I tell you a soda tip while we're on it?
Yeah,
please.
I recently had from Galco's, that place in Highland Park.
Yo, we need to do a field trip there, by the way, JoJo.
Yes.
Do. They had Dr. Pepper sugar, real sugar from the bottle. And it was like the best soda I've ever had. And then I've tried to locate it since, and they were out, and I haven't been able to find it anywhere else. But I want to try it again because it was so good.
Oh, that's exciting.
Really good.
That shit is the bomb.
Yeah.
That's like, I think they still make it in Texas or something. I forget.
Yeah. The real sugar Dr. Pepper, incredible.
Oh man.
Amazing, amazing. All right, well, I had a little something I wanted to share that just kind of popped up on TikTok for me.
You're looking at TikTok this whole time?
Yeah, just now. Just now. So this is going to get into a conversation of like, is this a beverage or is it not a beverage? But check this guy out, okay? Here we go. For those at the podcast at home, this appears to be like a teenager in a cool Bass Pro Shops hat.
Very popular cap at the moment, but that's a different show.
So somebody told me to try this salsa and cheese water, so we finna see what it is.
Pouring some salsa into a glass
Chunky.
of water.
The salsa could be much more chunkier, just being honest.
Pouring Parmesan into this same glass.
The cheese could be fluffier. Finna see what it is.
I hate this.
The salsa could have been much more spicier. I mean, the cheese is there. Hold on, let me get another taste. The cheese could be much more ratatouille. I mean, overall, this shit's nasty. Wouldn't try it.
Okay. Shout out to him for doubling down after he almost puked, right?
Oh my god.
Is that a beverage?
Oh my.
I would say yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beverage. I don't even think it's a question. He's just chugged it.
Oh, that was hard to watch.
That was. I really thought he was gonna puke on camera.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by that kid's strength.
I know that feeling when you like sort of inhale Parmesan, which seemed to happen.
We've all been there.
And you cough and it's like a little cloud.
You got a little too close to it and just taking a whiff of it.
Wow.
Wow, we have a vote saying shake cheese is not a beverage.
No, so I agree. Listen, I agree. Salsa, not a beverage. Shake cheese, not a beverage. But he explicitly says, "I'm gonna try this Parmesan salsa water." Like, and he's putting it all together.
That people are talking about.
Like, but I think once those ingredients are in a vessel and mixed up, liquefied, and he's drinking it out of a glass, I kind of do think it is a beverage.
Yeah.
Or is it a soup?
Fuck no, it's not a soup.
A gazpacho?
No.
You don't make gazpacho by dumping two things into water.
Lizzie says nothing was liquefied. I think he could have stirred more.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm also gonna. This is where I would say like, wow, these bevs are getting to my head. This is where like a sangria, right? Maddie's nemesis. If with just like chunks of chopped up fruit in there, it is that. I mean, that's certainly a beverage, but it's also basically a fruit salad with just wine spilled all over the top, like you went
a crime,
too hard.
Let's talk about dressing. Garnish on a Bloody Mary.
Right. The garnish is not a beverage, but it's essential to the beverage experience.
Like, you gotta have a pickle on the rim of your drink.
Agreed. All of these little sodas would have been enhanced by a little gherkin atop the rim.
I have a crazy update happening in my texts right now.
Is this from your mom?
No, this is from my friend Lou Roy, who
shout out Lou Roy.
Shout out Lou Roy. She can't figure out how to work the chat. Doesn't have a Twitch account or something.
You don't need one.
Don't need an account.
That's what I thought. Let's roast her really fast. Don't need it.
Actually, that might. You know what? To chat, you might have to need an account. You don't need one to watch.
Okay. So, she is a Diet Coke addict who hates Diet Pepsi, and she says if she's offered Diet Pepsi when she goes places when they don't have Diet Coke, she refuses it, and she can't believe we liked Diet Pepsi.
Well, I feel like she's not alone at all. I think
Right.
she is the majority.
That's right.
Now,
The silent majority.
okay, let's role play with me for a second here, Maddie. I'm the waiter. Order a Diet Coke.
Hey, sir, can I please get a Diet Coke?
Sir.
I'm sorry, we just have Pepsi products. Would you like a Diet Pepsi?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Now, one more time. Order a Coke. If you're ordering a Coke from me, I'm sorry, we only have Pepsi. What are you doing?
Am I me in this situation or am I Lou?
You're you right now.
Okay, because I wouldn't have asked for the Diet Coke. Okay, now I'm me.
Do Coke, though. Okay, ask me for
Okay.
a Coke.
Hi, can I have a Coke, please?
We only have Pepsi stuff. Would you like a Pepsi?
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine. Okay. Jojo, same for you. Regular Coke.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have a Coke, please.
I'm sorry, we don't have Coke. We have Pepsi. Would you like a Pepsi?
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. I'm not a brand loyalist.
Okay. The point I'm trying to make, I think most people on the diet spectrum are probably more diehard, but I would have expected out of the two of you, at least one of you been like, no, pass.
No, I would drink a Pepsi, but I would prefer a Coke, and I'll order a Coke.
Yeah, I just feel like any port in a storm. If I'm going to have a soda at a restaurant, that event is rare enough. I have been with people who have denied it and
You get
have
a
felt
soda
really
every
put
time
out.
every single time I've been with you for
'Cause
lunch, you get some
eating
sort
lunch
of
with you is a
ridiculous
treat.
soda. Okay.
Oh.
It's a treat with you too, buddy.
You kind of had to say that now that I said it.
But you always have a soda.
And so, right, but what is that realistically? Like once, even if we're really rolling, like once a month.
Okay.
And even then, if you said like, oh, they're out of cherry Pepsi at the hot chicken place, would I have been like, no drinks, I'll eat it dry? I would have taken anything. If they fucked it up and accidentally gave me unsweetened iced tea, I'd be like,
Well,
"All right."
I think the Lou Roys of the world are ride or die with their Diet Coke and are like, fuck Diet Pepsi.
Yes.
Whereas I don't think it flows the same way. I think if you are into Diet Pepsi and you're at the restaurant and they're like, we just have Diet Coke, you're probably like, okay.
Oh, no, the Pepsi people are psychos too.
I think you're
Everybody.
right.
Is there
Diet
any-
Coke is like a cultural phenomenon. Like Bill Gates drinks 10 a day or something.
Is that a thing?
And that's how he got so rich.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well,
I
Jojo,
just confirmed it again. Diet Pepsi is better than Diet Coke.
be careful with that. By the way, Maddie.
Yeah. Gonna check on next door for Maddie later. Man, arrested.
You're gonna be FaceTiming me in the middle of the night.
I got a great idea. This is a matcha level idea I've got for you. What do you think about this?
Jojo, do you have a Bev moment of the week?
I do. Oh yeah, absolutely. This is, I suppose it is not news per se, but I would just like to say, may the 4th be with you. And I want to talk about blue milk for a second.
No.
You don't
but
care about blue
milk-
milk?
No, I do care.
Blue
I don't
milk.
care about May the 4th be with you.
It's a Star Wars adjacent. Look, while we're all being
Oh,
fucking
blue
corporate,
milk is Star Wars adjacent. That makes sense.
this is what I'm talking about.
I thought you were just trying to squeeze a May the 4th be in you into
I'm not-
a beverage.
Yeah.
In you.
You sicko. Yeah.
That's your other DVD, Andy.
I don't like this movie. I don't see what everybody's all wound up about. Everybody's wrapped around the axle for Luke Skywalker. He's not that hot.
My apologies, Jojo. I'm extra amped up to keep it beverage focused is all, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. This is a May the 4th. While we're all being fucking corporate snipers for Pepsi and Coke, and willing to just take out anybody who gets in the way of their dominance, we might as well throw a little love to the Disney Corporation and Star Wars on the reel. By the way, there's also probably a lot of people out there who give Valentine's Day a lot of shit as a corporate holiday, and meanwhile are May the 4th be with you all over their social media today. And that's okay, because we're here to talk about the blue milk of Star Wars, because it is they sell it now. You can get it at the Disneyland parks now that they have acquired all of the Star Wars IP from 20th Century Fox. You can buy blue milk, and it is a plant-based beverage. It is a blend of coconut and rice milk with alluring fruity characteristics, according to the menu.
Not a Maddie thing.
So you know to avoid that now. You're gonna.
That's good. Thank you for the heads up. In case I was tempted to drink the blue milk.
Not a lot for you to drink at Disneyland in terms of their hyper-specific beverages.
Yeah, it's true. I had a blue margarita at the Dodgers game last week.
Does blue count as fruit or no?
Or does margarita count as fruit?
I mean, margarita is sometimes a little limey, but it's honestly usually fine. It doesn't really bug me. Because I don't mind the taste of lime or lemon, but sometimes they'll make my throat itchy in large quantities. But margaritas are usually fine because it's just so processed. It's like not real fruit, Anyways, the blue margarita at the Dodgers game was really sweet and not very good. It gave me a headache.
Do not recommend. 5 stars. Well, I mean, that's really it. I just wanted to talk about it, blue milk, and how it's bantha milk, if you want to talk canonically about it. And apparently they use it for all types of other products. But it first appeared in New Hope, the first Star Wars feature film, and Mark Hamill described it as ghastly when he drank it. Said it was oily and full of blue food coloring.
Ew.
I wonder how much they're charging down there at Disney for a blue milk.
Well, let me see if I have that for you. I do. Do you want to guess?
Yes, I'm going to say $18.
All right, Maddie, what's your guess for a
Is it carton or like a individual size?
This will be a cup of blue milk.
A cup of blue milk at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's right.
$9.95.
You're both wrong. The price is $7.99.
Oh, very reasonable.
That does seem pretty reasonable for a specialty beverage at a place where you're already dropping a cool G just to show up.
I love it. Well, let's check in on our friend Mr. Snackers, and while we're doing that, whoa, did you guys hear that?
No.
Okay, that's great. That's good that you didn't hear that. It was very loud. Okay, let's check in on our boy.
Oh, watermelon is out.
What is this?
Jojo, do you want to kind of explain to Maddie what this is? And while we're doing that, I'm going to see. We got some people sent us some TikToks, and I'm going to see if I can get those beverage-related TikToks queued up. If you want to explain to Maddie, our sweet little boy over there.
Sure. So about 5-6 years ago, I got a pet duck named Mr. Snackers, and people thought it wasn't real when we were just a podcast. And so we're just checking in here on Mr. Snackers, who's with some of his ducky friends at a ducky daycare, because my landlord won't let me have ducks.
Is this really new?
I'm sorry?
This is really your old duck?
Of course. So that's him back there. They really fuck with watermelon. They love it. We can't talk about it too much on the show, other than the fact that it's super cute. And you can hear them. Look, they just drink out of these pools. They're just shitting in whatever else. There's really no...
That's why we
I
put
feel
a
like I
little
want to send a note.
Watermelon sippy cup on our first emote.
Yeah,
I'm going to
because...
drop one of those in the chat right now just because this is for
Please
you,
do.
Mr.
It's a little,
Snackers.
there's Snackers sucking down a watermelon juice box. cute as pie.
Now it all
And
makes sense.
So cute.
just quacking and snacking all over the place. I need to ask them what this thing is in the middle. Is it a feeding station? Is it a little Bunsen burner? Are they making a little percolator of coffee
Yeah,
for
it
the
does look
ducks?
like a little percolator, doesn't
Well,
it?
you rehomed your duck.
This is just a ducky daycare. I can see. Oh wow! Whoa! 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 Everybody, calm down.
Everybody, calm down.
Oh, can you hear that? That's just.
How many people are watching the live
Chonking
cam
on
with them
watermelon.
right now? I can't
Are
see
more
how many
people watching the live duck cam than are watching us? Right
Usually
now?
usually it's only like one or two when we check in on them. Okay. We have a
I am trying to petition my landlord to let me have the duck.
Kate Winslet. Let me pull this out.
Oh
Update.
my God. MW Barnhart. Hey, I texted my buddy in England. He said he hasn't seen Kate Winslet in his shop since the pandemic started.
Okay,
All right.
We appreciate the heads up, and give your buddy a heads up if she does walk into the store to tell her about our show and that she needs to come on to it. Twitch.tv/TBASHLIVE.
If your friend has control over what's played in the shop during store hours, it's probably a good idea just to have the podcast on over the loudspeakers in case she hears it and says, wow, this is charming. Who are these blokes? It says something like that to him, you know? If she says that, he'd be like, oh, boy, do I have an email address for you to have.
Okay, this next video, this was sent to us from Stephanie, and this is going to knock your socks off because when we had Chris Farron on the show and he showed us his amazing little ice maker, I believe someone in the chat had said, like, wouldn't it be cool to make coffee
Ice cubes.
cubes, right?
Yes.
Check this out. I'm going to turn that off so we don't get
Yeah, you guys get the idea.
our stream pulled down.
Copyrights.
Look
Whoa.
at that.
That's
Oh
amazing.
my God.
Whoa.
So she made some legit little coffee
Holy shit.
cubes.
I want to know how she cleaned this machine after that, though. You think you just run it a few times with water?
Good question.
That's a great question. Or are you just like, this is my thing now, and this is my coffee cube maker, and you just got to kind of go for it?
Jameson on deck. You notice that?
Isn't that amazing?
Really, I need
it
to
looks.
I love the small crunchy ice. It makes any drink better.
Agreed. I would love
Fresh soda.
it. It is the best.
Mm-hmm.
That should be a thing you could select on Yelp. Do they have Pebble Ice at this restaurant?
That's such a good suggestion.
Thank you. Well, it's been filed now, so
Okay, I
You
got
should be seeing that.
I got one more video to share.
that is
This one
that's
was
so
sent
good.
by who sent this in? Hold on.
I really do wish I had the tiniest bit more counter space. I could really see getting an ice maker.
Does your freezer have one?
No.
Mm.
Well, no, that's not true. It does. It's just not hooked up because we rent and it feel attached. And LA is weird for those of you who don't live here. No rental units come with a fridge.
My rental unit came with a fridge.
Yeah, my rental
Well,
unit definitely came.
all
with a
right.
fridge.
A lot of them don't, and it's very fucking strange.
My landlord even took me to Best Buy to get a new fridge. Actually, funny story. Our fridge died, and he purchased a new fridge. So we came home one day to a new fridge, and it was like a college dorm fridge, like slightly bigger than a college dorm fridge. If you've ever seen so imagine like a third of a size of a regular fridge, and we're like, what are you thinking? And his answer was, Well, I see that you guys do a lot of Trader Joe's frozen meals, which were like, are you going through our garbage?
I don't like any of this.
Yeah. But so the freezer section was like, maybe it was like the same size as the bottom. But anyways, we're like, this is the most absurd thing you could have bought. Like I had never seen a fridge this size before.
Insulting.
And then so I'm like, you got to get something different. And so we went together to Best Buy.
Nice.
And picked out a nice little fridge together.
Do you think I was a long con to get you just to go on a little friend's date to go get a new appliance?
It could have been. It was a special day.
I can't believe he was like, you use a lot of Trader Joe's meals.
Yeah.
What?
Indeed.
I would have said "fuck off" in my head to him right
Yeah.
after that, not out loud, of course.
So this was sent to us by Andrew Moore, and I noticed in this the chat too. I wonder if this was Andrew in the chat. I've seen a couple people mention this, but this. Well, let me just play it. Let me turn up the volume again here.
Have you tried Pepsi Nitro? I mean, it sounds like an energy drink, so you know if I like energy drinks. I don't know if it actually is or not, but I hope it is. Whatever. At the very bottom, it says, chill can, 2, pour hard, 3, admire and enjoy. Like, so let's pour it into a glass, because apparently it won't taste good if you don't. And just for the hell of it, we're going to pour the Pepsi Nitro in this Coke glass. It's angry that I'm pouring it into a Coke glass.
He's not pouring it hard enough.
Like, when I first taste it, it has like a little bit of a spice to it. I don't know how else to put it. Like, there's like a little bit of a kick, spicy kick to it. Other than that, it is smooth and creamy. I mean, it's Pepsi. Tastes like Pepsi. Overall, I give Pepsi Nitro a 7 out of 10. I think I'm being nice saying that. So 7 out of 10.
And I'm intrigued.
I'm pretty intrigued by this fellow.
I
More
like
so than the Pepsi Nitro.
More, yeah, I could see that. I think maybe we do a Pepsi Nitro versus matcha shootout some morning.
You got to be careful with a matcha shootout. I'm serious.
Maddie, what would a matcha shootout even look like? How would we execute something like that?
I think you would need to do, well, one fun way could be to just get matcha lattes across different LA coffee shops and just try.
What's the shelf life on if we go to a coffee shop? Like, do we have time to go to a few coffee shops, and are they hot? Would they stay okay for a little bit? How does it work?
You probably want to microwave it if you're doing it hot. If you're doing it iced, it'd probably be fine.
Ooh, iced matcha.
Yeah.
shootout.
But you also could do like some of the homemade one. Like you could try different matcha powders and just try. Like you could try cooking grade versus ceremonial grade and see if it actually makes a difference.
Ooh.
I almost feel like we need like a matcha expert to make it for us.
I think I kind of like that. I do have a vision for us doing some more stuff like that, where it's just like
A
and
field trip episode.
yeah, and like just make a good version of this thing, and let's just try it and see if it's good.
I kind of want us to like have to go to some commune, and it's like some cool, weird married couple with some like interesting names. You know,
Why
what
just
I mean?
a couple?
What's that? A
Why would it
throuple? Is
just
that
be
what
a
you
couple?
said?
I said, why just a couple?
Right? Maybe I don't know.
If it's a commune, I kind of want I want to, you know.
But
want some
I
intrigue.
feel like you know, Star Bear and Magic Eyes are like they're the matcha experts on the commune. Do you know what I mean?
Are you
Yeah.
guys feeling a sugar rush right now? Because I
Absolutely.
But
My
there's no
cheeks
sugar,
are
right?
red. I'm feeling it in my forehead, like the crown of my head.
Why, if there's no sugar? I feel like
It's a-
showing you every single item in my house right now.
It's the
Oh,
that's
well,
the
that's a great.
caffeine. That's
You
the
want to show us
caffeine.
every single item in your house? Can you show us the mug you talked about, and maybe we can see what's in your fridge right now?
Certainly.
Oh, yes.
Okay, I'll show you. This is my girlfriend's drink station that I have nothing to do with. That's all her coffee and shit.
Holy shit! You won't
There's a
even
whole
touch
drink
that.
station.
No, I don't even go over there
Why
it
is it
off
so
limits?
far away from yours?
because I have this. This is my copper tea kettle.
Oh yeah,
That's
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah. My plants just had a bath, so there's a bunch of plants in my sink right now. This is
They're
my
thirsty too. Plants get thirsty as well.
Yes.
We
This is
should
my
have a
first
plant
bowl
on
of
the
mug.
show.
Oh,
Wow, with the
whoa.
handle. Look at that thing. It's deluxe.
Yeah. This is my other favorite glass that I got at a farmer's market. It was a jar of honey, and I drink. This is what I use as my water glass.
Did you eat all the honey
that's
first?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can show you my giant jar of honey too. See, it's the caffeine. Okay, here's my giant jar of
Sure.
honey
Yeah.
from the Modesto farm.
Yes, tub of honey. That was huge.
And then here is my Franca NYC mug, hand painted porcelain that I really like.
Oh,
That is a
nice.
beaut. Now, wait, can you hold the handle of that? How many
Yeah.
fingers can you get in that thing? Because it does look pretty chunky.
Oh yeah.
Okay. See,
So
I
you
kind of
need
still
to at
want
least be
one.
able to that's like a 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is too few, certainly. But I kind of feel like I want 3 or 4.
My other favorite mug is by this other ceramicist, and this I can fit all my hands.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about. Love
looks
that.
very pleasing.
Yeah.
But small, but nice.
Yeah. And then I've got the Le Creuset mugs right here.
Classic.
They're pretty good.
Sure, charred bottoms, every single one.
No, that's the tea kettle.
Let's see what's in that fridge that people are asking for it.
I don't know if I want to even show inside my fridge right now.
Well,
It's
you can
kind of-
peek first.
It's pretty. It's not looking very good for me here.
All the
Does your
for us.
girlfriend have her own mini fridge underneath the beverage station?
She's on
Okay.
tour, but all that white, like I don't drink any of that stuff back there.
Yeah, what are those in the very back top?
Those are. These are like some custom beers that someone gave her, like game beer.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what
Okay.
that is. And then this one is Super Cluster.
Mm.
Like
I
I don't
s-
know what any of this is.
I also saw something bright blue in a bottle.
Yes, that also is not mine. That's also Sarah's. She bought some Gatorade Zero because she had a really bad hangover,
Oh, okay.
and
like
I
that.
don't drink that flavor. It's too fruity. So okay,
What flavor of Gatorade? You drink plain? What one do you like?
I like the orange one, and that's it.
Okay.
That kind of makes sense.
I have this really good garlic spread.
No, put that back in.
Nah,
No, no,
yeah.
no.
Oh, you only
Wrong
want the
show, wrong
beverages?
show.
We can
I-
scrub this later.
Or-
Oh, there it is. Orange.
Orange
Oh, yeah.
Gatorade.
That looks like it's been there for a while.
It expires November 2022.
No, I was talking about the Gatorade.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's
No,
fresh.
yeah, wait. Yeah, Maddie, I don't. Has that Gatorade been in there for like 3 years?
No, Sarah bought this recently when she was hungover. She got me some orange.
Okay, gotcha. Any
Like-
other
Just
beverages
in
there
case
that we need
you
to see?
also were hungover and didn't say anything. Oh, yeah.
Some cold
Use
brewed
that.
there.
But
That's
I don't
nice.
drink coffee. All these beverages are Sarah's.
Okay. It sounds like we'll need to have
I
her on the
don't-
podcast.
You should.
You have
There's
nothing else. We need to
egg
interview her about
whites.
the beverage station that's off limits to you.
That's okay. See,
fascinating.
that's a classic example of not a beverage. Am I right, Lizzie? Are you still here? Because egg whites, just because they come in a carton that milk also comes in, does not make it a beverage.
Oh yeah. Do you have any hot sauce in there?
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, I really am fond of habanero flavoring. So this
Oh,
is,
me too. Yeah.
This came in a what are those called? An advent calendar of hot sauce, which was really sick. This one's habanero red, and then there's also extra hot.
Whoa, was this a month of hot sauces? Was it a hot sauce advent
24 of
calendar?
them. Yeah, 24 of
Oh,
them.
that's fun.
Top it
Wow.
together. We've got the Sad 13. I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah, Sadie Dupois from.
Yeah, so this is Haunted Peppers for Sad 13.
Ooh.
It was
I like that.
some of her merch, and it's a custom. It was a custom hot sauce. Really good.
Love that.
There's like sriracha in here.
Classic.
There's some Franks.
Loving
I'm
this.
impressed.
got-
This is a really solid. You got some staples and then some really nice indie players in there.
Yeah. What else do we have? Yeah, Tapatio. I feel like I had more. I might have some more in the pantry that's unopened. Hot sauce wise.
Yeah, I mean, there should be like 22
well,
more of
Sarah-
those. How'd you get through all those Advent ones?
We only took a few of we shared them with other family members, but I really like
that's a good idea.
habanero. I really like habanero as a flavor, so I took the habanero one. There's this Herdez avocado salsa that I don't know. I guess that's not hot sauce.
I
Pretend you didn't see that.
Okay.
I think that's all my hot sauce and beverages.
I love it. Thank you. We love a fridge tour over here.
There's ginger. I don't know what this is. See, none of these beverages have anything to do with me, but they are in my fridge. So.
Boochcraft.
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
All right,
that's an alcoholic kombucha.
Jojo, do you have? We have one more segment of the show, Maddie, before we wrap things up.
Okay.
Jojo, it looks like you're frozen, but we
It
can
does,
definitely-
doesn't it? Can you hear me?
We can
Someone
hear you
said
great.
Sarah is a keeper.
We can hear you great. Let's see. Do we have a banner to put up?
We certainly
our next
do.
Question. Okay, great. So when we started the podcast, my lovely Brian-in-law, excuse me, my lovely brother-in-law, Brian, sent us 100 questions, and when we just rebooted the show, he sent us 100 more. So this is one of our favorite segments, and it's called. Let's see if we can hear you say it, Jojo.
Brian's question.
Oh, that's beautiful. You're frozen, but you sound lovely. So anyways, this is Brian's question. Maddie, can you see that? Can you read Brian's question?
Yeah. What are 0 net calorie drinks really made of?
Now, Jojo, did you grab this one on purpose, or was this legitimately number 6?
This is just number 6. I don't fuck around. Okay.
We are in the flow today. Holy crap.
I didn't look at it until seconds before we jumped into the live stream. So, yeah, this was just happens to be deeply related to what we just drank.
So what are 0 net calorie drinks really made of? Maddie?
Oh, I'm supposed to say?
Yeah, that's right.
Chemicals. They're made of just straight chemicals and
Yeah,
dyes.
we got water, caramel color, phosphoric acid, aspartame, potassium, benzate, caffeine, natural flavor. All the good stuff.
Are you allowed to Google on here or no?
Well, sure.
Yeah, we are allowed to Google on here.
Because I do want to know the difference.
So I think what Brian is asking about is the idea of something that it specifically says what are 0 net calorie drinks. So there's an idea that that certain foods or drinks burn more calories than they contain,
Oh.
which my
Like pickles.
brief Googling seems to say that that's not quite true, that the only stuff that would fall into that category is it would have to be a 0 calorie beverage, and which apparently means anything under 5 calories. So like a cup of coffee, a tea, a Diet Coke would all fall under that. But they would specifically have to be iced or heated so that you can, I guess, so that as your body's processing them, you to kind of, because you're right, because your body has to either cool, has to get everything to like an even temperature before it's processing it. It's gonna, whatever you call that, equalize across your body. So if it's hotter or colder, then it has to do that, and that process, if it's already has under 5 calories, could take a calorie or 2 away. But it's not something that's like you're gonna lose weight, by drinking ice water.
Do you see up here on the Google, I found a drink only contains calories when it contains carbohydrates, like sugar, protein, fat, or alcohol. However, a sweet drink can be 0 calories if it contains artificial sweetener but no sugar.
See, like, I don't really understand Because they're just naming stuff that we've never heard of on the ingredients list and then telling us it's 0 calories. But obviously there's stuff in there. But like this can't, there's no way that these diet Cokes or Coke Zeros are like the same healthiness for you as a LaCroix, right? Like, but both of those just have no ingredients listed and they're
Well,
0 calories.
I have a LaCroix right here. Let's see, because does LaCroix have any sodium in it? LaCroix has no sodium, no fat, no carbs, no protein, where these drinks do have 25 milligrams of sodium. That's a great question though, Maddie. Like how much worse would be drinking a few of these a day versus a few LaCroix a day? Because our gut tells us that the LaCroix is way healthier, but
But I also feel like the nutrition facts on these diet and Coke Zero things are just misleading because they just name a bunch of stuff that you don't know what it is, and then they just tell you like there's none of all of these things in here, so you're good. Like this is healthy because there's no fat in here. But it's like what even is in here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's a lot. I mean, the caffeine content, right, is probably the biggest problem. And then it's a question of like how much you think the other chemicals are killing you or whatever. Right? I think otherwise it's good to the just sparkling water is going to just have it's water primarily. So I guess these are also primarily water, but it's the caffeine that then stops your body from, it's the diuretic that you don't really want to have too much of.
And I am, just for the record, getting a bit of that coffee caffeine feeling. I don't think these are anything I'm going to be pulling into my routine, by the way.
This isn't a clean high like a matcha.
No.
It isn't. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know.
We
I
got to
don't
do
feel energized. I just feel jacked,
It's also interesting that I feel like the regular Coke is a cleaner high than these diet ones. Does that resonate at all with you guys?
Yeah. Yeah,
Totally.
there's aftertaste all over this stuff that I don't think you're getting with the regs.
Got it.
Well, can you spare the cows?
On that note, guys, I think we should wrap up. Maddie, you have been a fantastic guest. Everybody go follow Maddie. We got her socials scrolling there at the bottom of the screen. On Instagram, it's Ratty Moss. And on Twitter, it's Maddie Ross. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Jojo, did you just pull those off?
I certainly did. Now they're back.
And you can also go to maddieross.com to find out about the upcoming tour, and you can find out everything at that website, I would imagine.
Everything.
Jojo, do you have anything that you want to plug before we wrap up tonight?
No, just go buy your Kool-Aid, kids.
Yeah, we're going to get crazy with Kool-Aid next week.
I want to acknowledge the person who said they got an opal for Pebble Ice. I feel like that was worth acknowledging before we signed off.
I got myself an opal for Pebble Ice. It was expensive, but worth it. Wait, what is an opal?
It looks like it's an ice maker that this person got for the good crunchy Pebble Ice brand.
Opal Pebble Ice Maker.
Nugget ice maker.
Here, I'll pull it up real quick.
That's what's up. Oh, hell yeah.
I think that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, this is a serious machine. This is a
holy crap. Hold on.
This is a 600 Bing Bong home appliance. This looks like restaurant quality to me. Am I wrong?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it depends on how. Did that person? Which one did you get? A full restaurant one or
perhaps it's a table topper? We may never know. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It just never stops. So everyone, make sure you come back. Look at this classy ice bucket in this picture. Oh my God.
You can get Bluetooth or no Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
How big is this thing? Oh, it's not that big.
It's not
looks
as big
way bigger than you think it is. Look at that. Oh, wait.
I wonder if it could fit on our coffee bar.
Yeah, Sarah might have to get rid of some stuff, and then maybe you can make some room.
I gotta tell you though, you gotta really like ice to spend $630 on this little guy.
They say it's countertop size.
24 pounds of ice per day. This is really nice.
That's ripping. If I could install it into the water supply, I'm here for it. If I have to refill it, I'm out.
Oh, it does look like there's some
You
sort
wanna
of
hook
tank
up?
here.
Hmm.
Wow, it's really nice looking
It's
too.
really cool. I've never heard of that, and that's a new fixation for sure.
Let's get some.
That's like a wedding registry, like
Fuck yes.
Hail Mary, you know? Like you just put it on there, and if someone got it for you, then you'd own it.
This is a great thing to have, like if you have a bar area at your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, this is great. This is good context. They say it's about the size of a KitchenAid, like a stand mixer.
okay.
So that is a sizable object. You don't necessarily keep it out on your countertops unless you got a lot of space. But like you could. You absolutely could. And yeah, just to have it, you want that thing ready to go. You want those fun
That's
summertime
great.
cocktails.
Amazing.
That really someone said I'm going to put on the vision board.
Yeah, we might need to put it on our vision board.
I think we should. I think we need 3 on there. I feel like Maddie deserves one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
hey,
thinking about it.
And
everybody
also,
out there, subscribe to our Twitch so we can start buying some of these.
yeah, please do more custom biz coming on the Twitch in the coming weeks. Hopefully we'll have some more emotes approved by the good people at Twitch. And this definitely, that thing is definitely going on as the #1 T-Bash recommended wedding registry gift. I think you've sold us all. That's such a good call, Maddie. Thank
We
you.
need
That's
we need to put together like a list like that. That's a really
Let's
good
do
idea.
it. The
Jojo.
dream wedding registry. All right.
T-Bash approved wedding registry, and we'll make a baby one too. You know, like all the great baby bev products as well.
This is happening.
This
Okay,
is
great.
happening. All right, Maddie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
This is a blessing.
This was awesome.
All right, and Jojo, are you ready?
Go fuck yourselves.